find support of dragons, and they wanted to be able to take them down. They attempted to find weakness to dragons. They did end up experimenting on a few dragons, but not quite in the way that you were looking for, where they were trying to like splice things or to create a core out of a dragon. But you do find that they were trying to find weaknesses to dragons, some way that they could more effectively kill one. That comes out to you the most while you're looking through this library here.
Were they very successful? I mean, obviously they're not going to be like, here's all the weaknesses, but
Yes, they were reasonably successful, and they have in fact created a brand of Dragon Bane type weapons that are capable of driving a powerful strike underneath the scales of a dragon to get to the tender flesh and even pry off the scales. It's kind of a perfectly suited weapon for fighting a dragon up close. Or from atop if you happen to be caught on top a dragon in mid-flight.
all right, good to know.
There's even little like diagrams in the book, like showing the different aspects of the weapon, how it's shaped, and what different parts of the weapon do, and whatnot. It
Yeah.
gets very technical at that point, where it gets to talking about all the details of the weapon and whatnot.
Mhm.
You can tell what they're kind of are focused on here.
Yeah. I will meticulously copy out the weapon diagrams, particularly for daggers. Um,
All right. Well, you would see
yeah.
that they are each long swords.
Oh, they're each longsword. What the
Yes.
fuck? All right, well, that's fine.
You would also see that they are recommended to be made out of star metals, or sorry, sky metals.
Heh.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Very specifically, I would say because this is Mivan and you're looking up that, uh, they don't just say sky metal, they say orichalcum. Orichalcum or horalcum. They say that metal in particular. I don't know if this is supposed to be pronounced differently. Let's Google that.
Or Calcum, that's what you get
Yeah.
in Final Fantasy all the time. Yeah.
Say work outcomes, I think.
That is the pronunciation? Okay, orichalcum.
Orichalcum, yeah.
No, no, no. I'm not saying that's pronunciation. I'm saying that's how I pronounce it whenever I see it in Final
That's how I do
Fantasy.
too. I genuinely don't know how it's said.
No, I think that's right.
I think it's just orichalcum, but yeah.
But yes, that is the particular type of sky metal that is useful for taking down, for building this weapon for taking down dragons.
Okay, good to know.
You know that it also goes by the name Horacalcum, Horacalcum. It is also the rarest of the sky metals. It has a coppery color, and magically speaking, it is said to be able to twist time.
Well, we're not touching that. Nope. Sworn it off. Can't do
Sounds
it.
perfect. Love it. Can't wait.
Anyway, that is just information for the type of things that they that they were planning to use to build their dragon killing swords. However, you will notice that that they stopped working on this about 100 years ago.
What happened 100 years ago?
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
My religion's not that great. Why is it based on wisdom?
Oh,
What a fool.
100 years ago. Like,
Aridin died, supposedly.
Mm.
wait.
As background, because I am realizing I'm just saying that as if everybody knows. Aridin was the god of humanity, and there was
yeah.
this long-held thing where we were in what's called the Age of Prophecies, and a prophecy was set to be finalized where Aridin would return to this place. I forget the specific details, but Aridin did not show up. Golarion was plagued by storms for 3 weeks, and at the end of those storms, the clerics of Aridin could no longer cast spells. They were no longer given magic from Aridin. So Aridin has been presumed dead, and it brought an end to the Age of Prophecies. That was 100 years ago, and that coincides with when they abandoned this particular type of dragon killing weapon.
Like really neat now because the clerics are like political figures. Like they still want to push Aridin's like message and whatnot, but they can't have that magic. So they're like trying to continue as like politics instead of a church. It's pretty cool.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Can I
So
make?
it is brought up. It is brought up in that context because, and they don't explain this in the book, as irritating as it may be. But when they're describing the weapons, they say like something to the effect of, we were working on these weapons, we got them here, we were getting ready, we got enough orichalcum to make some weapons. But then with Aridin's death, obviously the plans were called off. Obviously, and that's about it.
All right, that's weird.
Yeah, it does very much seem to Asa like there is a piece of information that is missing there in
Alright.
why does Aridin's death, or why does the tumultuousness of 100 years ago coincide with them needing to stop working on these types of weapons.
Okay. Yep. That sounds like tomorrow's research subject. Oh man, we're gonna go through every day of this month. Every day I'm gonna be like, well, Sess, read to me from the Pathfinder
You better pull up
Wikipedia.
that
Thanks.
wiki. I got shit.
Nope, after this day we're probably going to go to weeks at a time.
Damn, she's gonna make a list. She's gonna hit you up after session and be like, "Y'all need this."
She already sent
Or-
the list. She sent the list before game. Okay, so that's what you get with your day of researching. And now we get to Kara. What does Kara want to do for the day?
Oh yeah. She is going to go out and see if she can track down Curious. No one remembers who Curious is, do
I
they?
don't remember who
gnome,
Curious
right?
is. Nah.
Curious,
I do.
the dwarf who
Oh,
was
the
a
dwarf.
quote-unquote
I thought-
merchant
Oh,
who
that
was
dude.
robbed.
I thought you said curious. I was like, what?
You remember
No,
his
it's
name?
Durious.
He said he was going to Mevon, so I'm going to see if I can track him down.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. How do you want to go about trying to find them?
Gather information.
All right. Are
I
you
will
looking
describe-
anywhere in particular?
Taverns, like maybe like places where like less savory people like hang out and such. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find him. If people aren't responding to his name, I'll make sure to use the description of him too to see if they know who this guy is and if I can find him.
Can't be sound like the cops. You see this dwarf?
Have you seen this man?
All right. Go ahead and make me a society,
Society?
unless you want to argue for something else.
No, that's fine.
Diplomacy.
I
No,
feel
it's
like
fine.
this is an Arcana roll.
Making sure everything's good. Yeah.
All right. You spend some time asking around the the Undercity and whatnot, or at least as much as there is in this place. However, as much as you go around like trying to describe this person to all these different like bar people and bartenders and whatnot, nobody seems to know who this dwarf is that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I should use a hero point. Because we're not gonna be using them much this game.
No.
Can
You
you
can
use
use
one
them on
now?
advantage on any roll.
All right.
I'll let you do a reroll though if you would like.
All right. I'll go and do a reroll. Actually, I can just click the card. Hero point.
All right. You go asking around, and still, people in the Undercity area don't seem to know anything about this dwarf.
All right. Well, I tried.
Okay. So then we get to the nighttime when you all are meeting back up for your nighttime meeting. Oh, my dog is going crazy because someone's lighting off fireworks.
Bark,
Oh, no.
bark, bark. What?
You know, it's a
Memorial Day?
holiday
was
or
thieves.
whatever. You gotta
Why would you launch
blow shit
fireworks
up.
on Memorial Day?
America.
Because it's
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
there's always fireworks. All the time.
That does not make any sense to me, especially since post-traumatic distress disorder can be set off by fireworks. But okay. Anyway.
So, Carl, you wanted to talk with us?
Yeah. I just wanted to go over like what happened with everything that went down back at in the Gnarlwood.
You mean the gate?
Where are we having this conversation?
I assume.
At the
Where
end,
are we?
imagine in a
Assume
room.
at the
In
end.
a room?
In a room? Okay, in a
Okay,
room.
God. God.
Amazing.
What a great. Yep. All right. No, it's fine.
Everything's good.
But yeah, I figured we should touch base on that and talk about some tactical things that happened while we were there that less than ideal in my opinion.
Yeah, I have a thing to say about that too.
All right. What do you got in mind?
Are you talking to Kara?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. I don't really have anything. I don't really want to draw this out too much, but it's just like we had people running off during fights, and I don't think that was good for anyone. So if we could just avoid that in the future, that'd be great.
Which instances are you talking of?
All right, we won't go into specifics. That's fine. First off, we had Asa running off, which is I get it. You were trying to go after the whatever the hell it was, the Greloth. Do we know they're Greloths?
We do now.
Maybe?
We do. I believe I rolled well
I
enough for
think
us
you
to
did.
All right.
know that
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
Grioth.
yeah.
When we were
Somebody
running
did do a
off.
knowledge check
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Grioths.
Yeah.
You know that they were like scout creatures that come from the Dark Tapestry.
Yeah, and then Bo bailed out during the last fight, and I get it, you were hurt, but you kind of still bailed out.
I did. Yes.
Because that was the smart tactical decision.
Yeah, he had a bow. You have a bow, right?
A bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you could have just peppered in from afar. I wouldn't mind that, but just leaving the fight altogether. Just
I was as close to death as I had ever been when I decided to leave. I'd come back to consciousness for the third time that fight. Core was over my body crying, begging me to stop. And I could feel my consciousness slipping as the last of their magic poured into me. And while you're correct, I could have stayed back with the bow and arrow. I had to back away with the potential that that creature could have cast a spell, or one of those back creatures could have turned and came down to join the fight and pick off the backside.
Those tentacle monsters did seem to target whoever was weakest at the time. They seemed to be specifically trying to take us out as quickly as possible. I think removing himself from the fight was the best thing that Bo could have done.
I just feel like if we're gonna be doing that stuff, then we need to do calls. As far as just like if we're gonna leave, we need to leave.
That's why I was upset.
Like, in my opinion, that fight could have gone either way.
That's why I was upset that even though y'all knew you should have run away, you didn't.
Ooh, cool.
Maddie and Asa.
I was still good for another round or two.
No,
Oh.
you weren't.
I was.
Natty,
I
You
am
were
well
bleeding to
aware of my.
death.
I was bleeding. That is true, but I was good for another round or two, especially once we took the tentacle monster out.
Natty was rather healthy.
Yeah, if I didn't put Spirit Link on them.
True, Core, you were very helpful that fight, and the only reason that I'm alive and that Maddie didn't lose consciousness. But each of us have a role to play during these things, and granted, like you said, you think they stayed through long, but at the end of the day, they got out. And, well, hopefully in the future, we can all think on these things and make sure that we move to keep each other alive safely and to complete these things. But
I also don't think that one of us having to fall back means the whole group has to fall back. That doesn't. That's bad strategy.
that I agree with as well. I will say this to Cora's point about me falling back. Everyone in this party has a role, whether it's stated or not. We all understand ours. And during that day, we all played ours very efficiently. Now, throughout that day, we all took our battle scores. We managed to push through and do it efficiently enough. For instance, Core, you took about 2 hits. Kara, AC, you took 3. Matty, you took about 7. And I took about 14. At the end, when I fell back, there's one thing that I learned about this whole event. That is, you're all right, Kara. And my role is to lead and take hits. I go in first. I hold them down. I wait for you all to do your job and do it better than I can. And I failed you all in that. I want you to know that going forward, I'm going to do better. I have to do better. Because while I disagree with the falling back part, I have things I have to live for. But I understand that I wasn't able to do my job as best as I can. And I'll do it better. Whether that's the teachings that scholars do or anything else that I learn or just pushing myself. I promise I'll do better. I apologize if I didn't hold up to a standard of any of yours.
Look, I don't have much of a standards for you guys. Like, I've been fighting for you guys with you guys for a while. It's just it just kind of sucked to be pushing in there, and then then suddenly you back off, and it's just like, oh, okay. I regret my decision. I didn't get in a good position.
At the
Or maybe
time,
I did. I don't know.
at the
I'm not
time
exactly a superb strategist myself. I'm not claiming to be.
At the time I told Maddie and Core I should have been a bit louder. I was afraid that the creature would have understood and altered their act of battle on that, but I understand your frustration.
It's not a big deal. I just wanted to point out that we need to stay together as a group. That's all.
I can't guarantee that in the future. I get what you mean, and in the fight, if it's possible, yes, us together as a unit is going to be stronger. But that day, when I reach my limit, the fact is, if that happens again, I'll do it again. I care for all of you deeply, and to fight amongst you has been an honor, and I've learned so much. But I have to keep living. I have things that I have to make up for. My people. My life is theirs. Their future, mine. And if I will push myself to the very brink, I can swear to you that. But if there comes a time like that again, I will have to back out.
It's also worth noting that, let's say the creature did decide to go after Bo, that puts the rest of us in a really awkward position because Core was I'm pretty sure was out of magic at that point for a proper heals,
I had
and
nothing.
yeah, so like there's nothing we could have done to help Bo at that point. Him falling back is just way safer than anything else. And if he fell, we'd have been in a very awkward position trying to protect him.
With the benefit of hindsight, yeah, like having to carry his ass out of there would have been a serious problem.
I am heavy. This armor. My muscles are very defined and heavy. So
What did you say?
my armor, my muscles, they are heavy. Makes me a rather heavy figure.
Oh. That's a weird thing to say.
I'm just
but
saying
okay.
you all are taller than me, but it doesn't mean that I'm not heavy. I have mass.
Oh, I know you're heavy. I tried to pull you. It's impossible.
Right. I just want that out there.
Okay, I did pull you. It wasn't impossible.
Okay.
But you were very, very heavy still.
Look, I just felt it was worth mentioning, bringing up, talking about. But yeah, I guess we should talk about like not running off during the fight as far as going after the thing too, because I did you have a plan, Asa, for that?
Asa was trying to help Maddie.
Well,
No, I mean the fight before that.
Before that.
right,
Oh.
right. Maddie and I are the fastest movers. We can move very, very quickly. Much faster than the rest of you.
It's very true.
So, if that creature was going to get away, either to warn somebody or to precipitate some sort of event that was going to be negative for us, then I wanted to know and find out as soon as possible. So I left when I understood that all of you had that underway in order to see where it was going and what it was possibly doing. If another contingency of some sort of people were to come after us, or they were going to bring something that was going to be very detrimental, then I would have the ability to warn everybody, because I can send messages over long distances and I can run very fast. I also am decently stealthy, not the same as you, Kara, of course, but I do believe I'm probably the second best at it, so I wasn't too worried about that either. That's why I went ahead. It's almost like scouting or investigating. So I do understand your frustration with people separating from the group. It's not always sound tactics, but I don't think that we should curb the freedom of anybody to act the way that they think is beneficial in battle. Perhaps working together more, especially in strenuous situations like the one that we were in, will help us figure out how better to maneuver around each other.
Not me, Maddie. We are in perfect sync. We understand each other always.
No, of course,
I
of
put up
course.
my
That was
hand
the
to high
one
five Maddie.
exception.
Maddie
I
high
was going
five.
to mention. Mhm. Yep.
And what
Yeah,
does
the
that mean in
one
sign language?
thing.
Fuck
Means
yeah.
high five.
This
That's
is
fine. It's just not what I'm used to.
this is what we should take moving forward. Carl, your points are fair. But as we continue to fight with each other, we're going to have to learn something, and that is trust in each other. Trust that while some moves in the moment are going to seem chaotic, maybe even stupid to some of us, but if we all trust each other and know that, if possible, staying together is our best opportunity, as we are quite the unit when we all fight as one. But if someone breaks off, or someone decides to take initiative, or anything else, we're going to have to put faith in each other. That they have something in plan. They have an idea. And hopefully, it'll turn out well.
We better not be lying.
I hope I'm
Not
not
that
either.
the whole point of what you just said, the whole trust thing, is like, I don't know, whatever. I just thought it was worth bringing up and talking about. So yeah,
Well,
just not what I'm used to.
that's fair. Another thing that we should look out for. I brought this up with Ace today at the library, but all of you should keep this on your mind while we're going to be here for a little bit longer. The Thieves Guild. They potentially have connections to whatever happened at that ruin. And while we didn't kill any other people, we definitely roughed them up and destroyed some of the supplies. They may not be happy with us. So be wary while you're on the streets, and do not let people, tempt you away to a dark alley or catch you off guard. It's probably
Dark Alley's one of my favorites.
well
I love being
for
tempted
you.
into them. They have the best stuff.
Yeah, for you maybe you go to a
Yeah.
dark alley, just maybe not with someone.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just
Say
don't.
I just like dark alleys?
I mean,
Something about me?
you go into dark alleys.
Yeah, I go into dark alleys.
Yeah.
I'm giving you shit, man.
Anyways,
Oh,
it's not a bad idea to keep a wary head on your shoulders.
maybe try to be with someone if possible. Not necessarily with each other, but for instance, I'll either be with Scaris or at the library for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to be around people. But
Oh,
yeah, I gotta go read too.
You're not gonna do a bar trip with me? Because
actually,
we still gotta
Mazzy,
do.
Yes.
We got the Holy Land.
well, the whole wait. Do you want to go to Killian's Hall?
I mean, yeah.
That's a
I mean, we're here. We've got a while before the thing.
that's a far trip, isn't it?
No, it's not that far. Couple days out, I think.
Oh shit, we don't have the map. It's not revealed.
It's not on it.
Well,
I think it's this. Maybe. I don't know.
it's 72 miles away.
Okay, actually. That'd be about a week trip for us.
Oh my god. Not downtime though.
No, I mean for me and Maddie, and hopefully we don't run into shit on the way. But I mean, yeah, I guess we could.
What you're saying is that we need a horse.
We do. We do need a horse.
Why are we going somewhere now?
Well, I mean, if you all want to come, you can. But me and Maddie need to make a religious journey. It's of a very high importance to us.
And what's that?
We're going to get fucking wasted at Caden's bar.
It's very important.
Very important. I actually was going to bring this up with you, Betty. I didn't think about going to the bar, but I was going to do a bar crawl with you. But this is good. I could talk with Scaris. I think I'll actually have enough time if we go and do this relatively quickly.
Do you know where Scaris is?
Oh yes, he comes down to Mivon.
Well,
I
no,
can't
but
go
we
to.
We went to their settlement, like we were there, and nobody was there.
No. That was a town. The
Oh
farmers.
wait, that was Leaf Bloom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did we ever figure out what happened there?
No, we didn't. I mean, we could ask around town if we're really curious, but yeah, that is very odd. All of Leaf Bloom was gone when we got there.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I did some research today about the wandering star, the one that fell. Probably fell northwest of here, somewhere in that general direction. And the star was probably made of metal, some sort of sky star metal, and it's going to be very valuable. And probably not a good thing for us to go look at as much as I want to. I bet I could get a really awesome sword or some armor, but that's fine. It's fine. It's just going to be, attacked by everyone who wants it because it's valuable.
It'll be a war zone at that meet too.
Doesn't northwest mean kind of
Sovereign Hill?
Sovereign Hill-ish?
Honestly, it could mean a lot of things. Could mean New Sephin, could mean Restov, could mean Oras Tower, could mean
Could be the middle of
people-
nowhere.
and it could be the middle of nowhere. It's sadly we don't know exactly where, but yes, you are correct. It could be exactly in the path of everything that we care about. We'll just have to
Speaking of
find
things
out
we
later.
care about, we should probably send a letter over to Dorthra. Let her know we got here okay, and then everything's we're gonna be here
Alright,
for a while.
That's a good
Oh, I
idea.
sent
Already
her a
did.
letter.
Already did.
Oh, so did. Oh. I did as well.
That's good.
Oh.
I'm sure she'll be excited to see multiple letters we could send to everything. I mean, unless, of course, she's, underneath a humongous chunk of sky metal.
Hope you're doing well in your new house. Love, Noboru. There we go.
Is that it?
Daughter seems like a very, on the level person. Feel like, she doesn't need all the
Don't
fancy.
Fall
That's all
for
right.
it. Don't fall for it. Don't
Fall for
do
what?
it. She's still a kid, even if she's smart.
I don't think it's so much that she's a kid, so much as she just doesn't understand how society operates.
Could be.
She seems to have a very hard time with concepts like jobs and money.
Also, I don't want to think
Poor
about her
Harry's eyes.
age, considering that she has an extremely steady job and a house, and we don't.
I have a steady job and a house.
We have a kind of iffy job, and the house was the master's, so...
Yeah, I live there though, and
Well-
I'm the guardian of the Wizard's Tower.
I mean, we're the guardians,
That's-
but,
I thought you lived under the stairs.
exactly.
So you're like the stair guardian?
That is correct. And the kitchen, sometimes at night.
Oh,
Good to
fine.
know that those are very properly guarded.
You
Right,
two
you
can
all
go
spend
and
time in the
get
library, so...
wasted, and I'm just gonna go upstairs and draw.
Okay. Well, I mean, we'll leave in the morning, I assume, maybe? You can
Well,
look back in the horse, and I could go talk with Scorus and tell him that
Oh,
I'll
you're
be
going
back.
to go tomorrow?
Well, I mean, it's
yeah, that
important.
might be that you might want to spend some time with Scars if we just got back into town. I'm sure you want to get some training in.
Oh, I really do. But it's important
Plus,
for both of us to go, and I don't want to...
Oh yeah,
Maybe
definitely.
He'll want to go.
We
Seems
just
like a heavy drinker.
Who?
we have to do a few things first, like confirm the exact location because I'm not 100% sure.
Fair enough. Yes, we don't want to get lost in the woods. If I miss the tournament, I'm going to be very upset.
Also, horses are expensive, and I'm gonna see. I've got another idea for a horse.
Okay.
Hmm,
All right.
You've got another idea for a horse?
that's
Yeah.
the exciting face Maddie's wearing.
Interesting.
Like what?
Hmm.
No.
It'll be a
No.
surprise.
Yes, she knows me
Oh,
too
okay.
well.
Might take a couple weeks though.
Couple of weeks. We have a month.
It's going to. Yeah, it'll be a while. Trust me, it'll be awesome.
Okay. Well, fair. We may have to go after the tournament, but that'll be fine. As long I'm willing to stay. The others may want to go back up to Sovereign Hill, and we'll just have to go meet them. But I agree, we have to go.
Why don't you invite Scars to go?
I could. I don't know if Scar's as much of a
He seems
drinker.
like a heavy drinker.
You think he's a heavy drinker?
Yeah, just look at that guy. It's just like he screams. Like I scream dark alleys. He screams heavy drinking.
I think he screams meditation in boxing.
It's basically
We went
the same.
We went to his town. They had awesome brownies, dude. I mean,
No, it's good.
He's only your teacher. It'd be rude to not invite him.
Very true.
Training road trip.
I mean, I can. I'll make sure to mention though that it is it is a religious thing they're going to do. I don't want him to feel
Wink.
uncomfortable. No, it's so weak. It is religious.
Oh, just ask him. Oh my gosh.
I'll ask him. I just don't want him to feel
Yes.
uncomfortable. Also, it's a very personal thing for me, Matty.
Yeah,
I'm just giving you shit.
totally.
What do you mean totally? Cool, this is our religion. This means a lot to us.
Drinking a lot? I think that means a lot to people.
It's not just drinking. Drinking is like
It's the ritual.
it's like praying, but in the way of celebration and camaraderie and bravery. Caden has a lot of really good messages. It means a lot, at least to us.
It's not like I'm gonna get in the way of you going to have a fun time.
Well, good. All right then. Well, anything else to cover?
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on at all. This whole thing falling from the sky, and now who knows what's gonna come up from that. But you know what? I'm just not in a position to be like, we need to deal with it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
Which is
I kind of
so the star's important too, but I definitely know we can't fight everyone over it. That just wouldn't work.
I think
No,
that'll
I
be.
think it would behoove us, though, to find out where it landed as soon as we can.
That's fair.
Well, if we could ask that Kill to see if they're looking into it. I'll see that they wouldn't. All things
Maybe.
considered.
They're probably already looking into it. Like I said, apparently the star medal is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they'll let us in on it.
Question, Cess. The daggers that Milan had were made from silver and sovereign steel. Sovereign steel has sky armor in it, doesn't it? Or sky armor.
Sovereign Steel is another name for Sky Metal.
Right, and that was from Kilvis?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Did we not
Yeah.
take their shit?
We did. Yeah.
Who has it?
Probably Kara in the back of holding.
Do you?
Yeah. Let me see. It's in the bag of holding. What is it? It should be in there, but I don't see it. So it's probably forgot to record it.
I do think that House Kilvis has a particular vested interest in sky metals. So, if it was something we were interested in investigating, we might be able to offer ourselves up to assist in something, maybe escorting, I don't know, miners? I don't know who goes after metal, how you acquire that. Whatever.
More jobs for children.
Hmm?
We escorted miners from the temple, and then there's Dothra, and now more.
Wow.
That took you a while,
Did
Rebecca.
everyone? It didn't. It
Okay,
didn't.
I thought
it
that
was stunned
was
silence.
you. I was
Nope.
like, oh my god.
It was stunned silence coming from Asa. Right. Well. Mm-hmm.
Bo's just
So
smiling.
you guys going bar hopping tonight?
No, that's right.
Okay.
In preparation, mate.
Because if you guys get drunk, you should take Asa with you so she can watch you. Or me. Whoever's available.
What? Why would they bring me to watch them when I could participate?
No, so yes, so me then. So me, yeah.
You have to sit and watch.
Yeah.
Why did they?
Because we're watching our backs because possible thieves guild bullshit.
Right. Okay.
It just means that we have to, moderate ourselves. Only light buzzes, nothing, no black and drunken nights.
Right. And then Bo in sign language. Fuck that.
Maddie nods.
Well, I listen. I do appreciate the push to be a little bit more cautious. I really don't want to completely impede our ability to have fun while we're here. I do think that we need to be apprised of whether or not the Thieves Guild is going to come after us. But
I think probably the easiest way to avoid that is just to be very open with the fact that we're part Kilvis now. If they know that we're a part of House Kilvis, then they're probably not going to fuck with us.
Very true. If we just
And,
wear
but,
that,
and the impression I got anyway from them was that they weren't happy with this arrangement either. They didn't want to be part of whatever that was going on up there.
could be.
Right. Well, or they could have sensed that it was coming to an end. So whatever lost income they got was not too much.
They might have felt that it came to a sudden and abrupt end when the star fell.
Maybe. So, right. Like I said, I think we should be, cautious, but I don't know if we should be that cautious. It seems a little bit excessive, but whatever everyone wants.
Yeah, that's whatever do we want.
All right. Well, enough of this. I'm going to turn in early because I got a bunch of stuff I need to start prepping for.
I am going to do the same. I have to meet up with Scars at the break of dawn. Good night.
Good night.
Night. Cool. Would you like to take a little walk outside?
Cool, can I come?
No.
I see how it is.
Sure.
Core, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ace is about to stab the shit out of Core.
Oh my god.
Dark out of the way. Finally.
Wow. I don't even have a dagger. I don't have.
You want to borrow mine?
That they know of.
Now we know. You're just a rogue again. You've just been hiding it.
At the moment, my unarmed is technically more lethal than Aces will ever be.
Well, yeah, because my arms aren't supposed to be lethal.
I know.
They're
I
just
know.
people arms.
They're
I
just
know.
people arms.
All right. Yeah. So I will start walking around the neighborhood. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Yep. So cool. How are you doing?
I don't know.
You could.
Everybody's so confident. But what I saw was everybody nearly died. And I don't really think anybody else sees that. And, that's okay, I guess. Maddie is pretty stoic and knows that they're doing, I guess. But I don't know. We're getting into a lot of stuff I really don't understand. Like that weird gate thing. Like, what was that? How is it doing what it was How was it doing what it was doing?
The portal that we went through.
Yeah.
It's very, very complicated, very complex magic. Basically, ripping, creating a pathway between time and space, which are materials that can be manipulated, just like anything else. It's really advanced. I don't even really understand it that much myself, so it's okay that you didn't know what it was or how it works. Hardly anyone does. I don't even think people who use them really understand.
That weird machine guy who said that we weren't where we were supposed to be. What if he wasn't there? Or it, I guess. What if it wasn't there? Would we really just have to live with all that? Is there... If things go bad like that, is it supposed to rewind? I don't get it.
Well, the answer to that is maybe. Maybe it wasn't supposed to rewind. Maybe it was. We can't know for sure. But the truth of it is that it happened. And there's nothing we can change about it. Because, I mean, we don't have access to manipulating powers. But if you try to come up with a lot of hypothetical, you try to worry about what if or what should have happened, then you spend your whole life looking back and never looking forward. There's always things we did wrong. You can learn from that. There's always failures. There's always mistakes. And the best you can do is to figure out how to not do them again, how to avoid them. But you can't change that. And you can't wonder what if. All it will do is drown you. So we got lucky this one time. But yes, we would have had to stay in our weird future and deal with it then. I
You
I
put on
know.
the ring, didn't
Yes.
you?
Yes, I did.
Did it do anything?
It hurt. Excruciating, I believe, is probably the best word for it. Really, really terribly bad. But it was very, very powerful. If I had kept the ring, I don't believe that it would have taken too long for me to figure out how to use it. How to use it without pain, probably a little bit longer, if it ever, but I could feel the shape of it in my mind. I probably could have used it the same way that they were using it, as some sort of conduit to push power through. But that's all. I didn't have time, and I didn't really want it. So it just hurt. I know you have.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
really feel like I know what I'm supposed to do.
Ah. Oh no. I was hoping it would take you, at least another month to really figure out that. But yeah, hardly anybody knows what they're supposed to do. Usually we just make up a goal and then charge towards it as quickly and as pigheadishly as possible, hoping to achieve it and give our lives some meaning. So,
Well,
what
what
you're
is your goal?
what is my goal?
I mean, you do you not have one?
Do you have a goal? My goal right now is to make sure that you're taken care of and that we get you to a place where you are self-sufficient. But overall, mostly just to help. That's sort of what I would like to do, to help people.
What was your goal before you met me?
It was still to help people. Less directed. I missed magic, and so I really wanted to learn magic, have that under my fingers again. And so for a long time, my goal was to get really good at magic. and to find a good teacher. Rasik was a really good teacher, and I hope that we can find him again. After seeing what he did with Daughter and all that, I feel like probably a lot that he wasn't really revealing to us that I can learn. But it was all the motivation to help others. And now that I see you need help and Bo needs help, Maddie, not so much Kara, very self. Three
Bo
of
really needs help.
you.
Sorry.
Well,
Not that he isn't a good fighter or anything, but
no,
I mean,
he's very good with his little chain thing.
he is very strong. I just so is Maddie, and them together they work really well, but they just get hurt a lot.
Yes, that's what they're for. That's why I stand way in the back so that things don't hurt me, because that's what they're for, is to get hurt.
That doesn't sound very good.
What do you mean?
Their job is to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound nice.
No, I don't think it's nice, but we're living in a situation where we want to fight things, where we want to accomplish goals in a world that is full of monsters or things trying to impede your goal, frustrate you. And in doing so, the best way is to have a group that can support any sort of endeavor you're trying to accomplish. It's the way that Kara is so good in the shadows. It's the way that Maddie just is a rock star with her spells and her sword. And the way that Bo is so good with his little face and voice. Those are all things that you need to accomplish what you want in life. And sometimes people are in a job that gets them hurt. But they're prepared for that. They sign up for it. Just as you heal people. That's what you're meant to. From what I've seen, maybe you want something different later. I'm not saying you're locked into that for life. But you're very, very good at what you do. And it's very important to all of us. And I'm just saddened that you had to realize that in order for you to heal people, they have to get hurt.
I guess I'm just fairly confused.
What about? I'm not any sort of philosopher, but I can try.
Why would you go after a goal that would hurt you over and over again?
Because your goal isn't when you have a race, all right? Say you're racing down a street, and at the end is something you want. Let's say, like a bowl of ice cream or something. Really motivated by ice cream. Say it's at the end of this road, and you just to run to it. If you just run on the road, it's easy. You get there fairly quickly. It takes no time at all. Doesn't. But if there's someone who really doesn't want you to cream and they stand in your way, and you want it really badly, then you do your best to get past. For some people, that's sneaking past. For some people, that's teleporting, or using distracting illusion, or fighting. And what you have to do at the start of your little race is determine whether or not the gold is worth the cost. Everything has a cost. Everything. Sometimes people start on their little journey and realize that no, it's not worth it. But a lot of people don't. They're willing to hurt over and over because what they want is worth it. So you go off a goal that hurts you because the outcome, thing you get at the end, is worth more than any pain you could. Sometimes. And sometimes, after a lot of suffering, you decide it's not worth it. Most people are really dumb. They believe in a sunk cost fallacy, or they believe that because they've worked towards it, they should just keep going even if it hurts. But all in all, that's how you should live your life. Is this thing I want worth what I'm going through right? And if it's not, it's really, really not, then you stop. So far, Maddie and Bo have decided that the injuries they've received have not deterred them. But they might one day. And that's fine. And as long as we have somebody proficient to you to heal them up, then they can keep their goal. Is that okay? Is that enough?
I'll try to keep that in mind.
I can't imagine how difficult it's been for you. I'm really sorry that you had to face this after only a few months. It's just extraordinary how far you've come in such a short time.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully they don't come back after a week completely wasted.
Another thing. What don't you like? You've mentioned it
No, I don't have
many
a
times.
problem with them, having fun or anything. I just don't relate to it very well.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. I just even though you've taught me that people will do things on their own and that it's not about me or anything if somebody decides to do something else. I just felt that weird urge that they kind of just wanted to get away from me or something like that. But I know that's not right. It's you said that's kind of just how children think sometimes, and I think that's what's happening.
Is there a reason you feel they're trying to get from you?
I think it's just me feeling inadequate.
Well, as someone who has frequently been inadequate, I can say that you are doing a bang up job being adequate, at the very least. And you're right. What other people do is all on them. Sometimes it can be influenced by others, but I can guarantee that what Maddie and Bo do are what they want to do. A lot of times because of their religious affiliation. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I yeah, I think that's just what it was. I mean, I guess I'm only 3 months old. I guess, so I guess that would kind of come in sometimes.
all right. I just want to make sure that it does become something that really bothers you, that you don't feel like you can talk.
No, I mean, I've gotten pretty used to the fact that they're gonna have drugs, so, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Okay. All right.
I'll be okay. I think having the break will be good.
Good. Good, yes. And I really hope that you know, embrace your free time around the city. The city's has a lot of interesting things. I think you can learn a lot going around. And if you need any help in the library, I can help you there. Or Bo or Maddie can help you with, you know, stuff. Cara can help you with sneaky stuff, whatever you want.
I did try to go into the library when we first got here.
Mm-hmm.
I understood how to find things, but I didn't find anything on myself or anything like that. But maybe there's something in the gold and platinum levels?
I did do some research today. It wasn't very helpful in regards to where you may have come from, but I do have a different strategy tomorrow, so you can come with
Okay.
me, or I can do it, or if you have questions, I can answer those or figure those out. But I do honestly believe that this is going to be the worst place for us to really figure it because of their
Yeah.
history with dragons.
I talked to Vivian today.
Mm-hmm.
And there isn't really a lot of magic stuff to learn around here, which would be pretty helpful at this point to learn, but I did get introduced to someone who knew how to, knew their way around dragons' weaknesses, so that was interesting.
That's pretty much where I landed too. Like I said, I don't think that this is probably the best place for it, but
I think they're a little bit obsessed with dragon killing, but I guess that sort of makes sense with where they came from.
yes, definitely.
Well, maybe the library might have some cool magic, interesting stuff in it. Not like scrolls or anything, but maybe something interesting to learn?
Absolutely. We can look for it tomorrow or in the upcoming weeks. It's going to be a very long time that we're here, like 6 or 7 weeks. So
That is a while.
it's a very long time. So, right?
Are we
Long.
sure that
Hmm?
that Dortha's gonna be okay?
Oh, no. No, not at all.
Oh, okay, so I was right to worry about that. Okay.
You can worry about things and not obsess over, right?
Yeah. Right.
It's all right to be worried about Dorthra. It's all right to be worried about where that thing landed. All of those things are okay to be worried about.
I mean, Dorthra taught me how to read, but it wasn't like we didn't play with toys. I just feel like she might be a little bit lonely.
Well, she does have a job, so I think she's pretty. Yes.
Yeah,
She
but
might
is
be a little
anyone
bit
else on
lonely.
the job 12? She's
Do you-
12, right? Wasn't she 12?
Do you think if you drew her picture and sent it to her, that would make her happy?
I think that would be a good idea.
I think she would like that. She just got, pithy words from the rest of us. A masterpiece would really lift her spirits, I think.
I think that's a really good idea.
Okay. Let's go back so we can get to sleep, and we have a long day of library tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of books.
Yeah, fine. It's fine. I'll show you around the books, I promise.
Puppy.
All right. And so you all eventually get back to the inn to settle down for the night.
Oh, did Kara?
Yeah, Kara's waiting in Core's room.
Oh,
All right. Well, Corey, you get back to your room, and when
Oh,
you open up the door, you see Kara.
posted up like Batman in the shadow.
Hi.
Oh, hey. I picked the lock. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, I mean, I didn't lock it anyway, so.
That's concerning.
What did she get? That raises so many red flags. Someone locked your room. That's terrible. There's
mean-
someone in there right now.
I mean, not that you wouldn't have been able to unlock it anyway, I guess, but.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to see how you were doing before I go out.
Oh, you're going out tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna hit the bar scene or something, do something, I don't know. You seemed really upset when when the town was quote-unquote destroyed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything was on fire, or was, and people were dead, and people were crying, and it was terrible, and a lot of corpses.
Well, yeah, that happens sometimes, but you understand that wasn't your fault, right? That wasn't our fault.
I know better now, but that doesn't inherently stop the screaming in your head.
Yeah, you got a lot of screaming in your head.
Mm, not anymore, but
But when it's happening,
yeah.
yeah. I don't have much advice as far as people screaming in your head. It's not pleasant.
No. Do you have people screaming in your head?
It feels like it sometimes.
I'm sorry if you ever feel that. It's not comfortable.
No, it is what it is. There's a lot of things I just don't understand right now, and it's just trying to figure that stuff out one little thing at a time. But yeah, I'm glad you're doing decent.
Yeah, I'm better after a talk with Asa. I was just feeling a little insecure.
Well, I don't want to keep you up if you're getting ready to go to bed. I just wanted to just make sure you were okay with everything. You seemed really upset back when we were in the thing. So yeah, I'll just leave you alone if you're going to bed.
I am going to bed, but I don't mind if you ask. That's okay.
All right. Well, you have a good night. I hope things feel better. If you have any more problems with the screen or whatever, I guess I can see what I can do to help you out. You're thinking like you're just really empathic,
Yeah,
and that might just be part of what you are and just something you have to adapt to.
I'm sure we'll figure it out one step at a time.
Yeah.
And I know you're really good at sneaking around and stuff, but be safe, okay?
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. You just get some rest, and I'll probably see you at the library tomorrow sometime.
Okay. Have a good night.
No, you too. And Carl will go and leave the room.
All right, leaving Car alone.
All right, Carl, what you gonna do? She's gonna go out to check out the local bar scene.
Okay, she's just spending her night bar hopping.
Yeah, she's not drinking. She's just been going around, checking it out.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything for the night?
I'm
Nope.
sleeping.
I'm gonna, at least before I fall asleep, I'm gonna start drawing that picture of Dorthra. and it's actually what Core is doing is drawing everybody with Dorthra in the picture. So like himself and then Bo and then
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? All right.
Yeah, that's it.
The next day dawns. We are now officially in Desnus, and we're going to be handling things now on a weekly basis for downtime activities. As a reminder, you all need to do 2 weeks of downtime to get your level up. So what would you all like to do?
That's really ominous, my guy.
It's a lot.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Ominous. Ominous.
Well,
Everything
first-
about
Let
this
it be
is
ominous.
you
Yeah,
go first.
yeah, for me, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna retrain my class feat. Conceal spell. I don't have the deception for it. And fuck you. So I'm getting rid of it. I'm gonna pick a different feat. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm like just gonna make sure.
All right, a week retrained. A week and you retrained.
Mm-hmm.
Next up. Here, I'm actually going to do this to keep track. Ace is taking her week. What's Kara doing over the next week?
Kara's gonna, like, do I have to level up and retrain, or do I retrain while leveling up?
Level up and then retrain. Or retrain and
Alright.
then level up.
Alright, I'll just go ahead and level up then.
Okay. Core?
I am. However you do this, I am retraining my ancestry feat to dragon lore.
Okay, that'll be a week. Maddie?
Don't need to retrain anything.
Level up?
So level up.
Alright,
See,
level
I'm
up.
finding out about all this dragon stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Up. He's I mean, downtime. Like, do we have to be sleeping? Like, what's? How you be training
Downtime
with
is just,
scars
this
right
is
now?
what... Yeah, training with scars is part of the downtime
Fair.
activities. Like, you're leveling up as you solidifying all the stuff that you've learned over the past. Like, you can imagine yourself having a Rocky montage
Yeah.
for these 2 weeks while you're solidifying all the lessons that you've learned, and then you're leveling up as you hold your hands over your head and you jump on top of the stairs
Nice.
before a statue. Okay,
General feat.
second week.
I'm gonna level up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Can we also be? I know we're focusing on retraining and leveling up and all that. Can we also be going to the library, or is this an all-day activity to do that?
You can do the library, but you're not going to get as much because you're spending a lot of your time focused on the retraining bit. Sort of
Okay.
like when you're traveling around and adventuring, you're spending all of your time traveling around and adventuring, right? This is your time to either spend your time like digging into library, leveling up, doing jobs, etc. In other
All
words,
right.
yes, you can try to go to the library, but you're not going to get the full benefit of like a full week of doing it.
Mm,
We got time. No rush.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be in any competition, so I'm
Exactly.
sure so it'll be fine. All right, I will spend this week leveling up.
Yeah.
All right.
I will
Thanks.
also. Sorry, go.
What was that? My sound cut out for a second there.
No, I think it
Yeah.
was Sess.
Oh no, Sess is
Uh-oh.
dead.
Well, that's on me. I apologize, guys.
Nah,
How
I kicked
could
off
you?
a little early.
How
I'm
could you?
evil. Like, why are you surprised? I've
Mm.
constantly told you all these things.
I know, but I thought it was like lawful evil that we could work with, and you had rules, you know? One
I
of
do
them was,
have rules.
we need
Those rules
Sess.
are that you can't understand those rules.
Yeah, it's fair.
So
they're
doesn't
Fey
that mean-
rules.
Okay, so doesn't that
Oh.
mean that's chaotic evil then?
It's chaotically lawful.
Mm,
Chaotically lawful evil? What?
yeah, that's
I do what I want.
Neutral evil then?
And that one of the things they got rid of in this like Pathfinder update they're doing is alignments.
Ah, I think
Yeah.
you could still have alignments, but stuff's not determined on alignments.
Yeah,
You know?
stuff isn't really determined on it.
They-
like if my
Still
lawful
can't hear you,
good
Sus.
spells don't work on lawful good characters.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see.
Nope.
There
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
You're there.
There we go.
All right, internet blood for a bit.
Mm,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh boy.
And then Magus gets
stop it, Joe.
2 and 1. You can't tell me what to do. It's not true. She probably could.
At this
So,
point,
it's a
yes.
power I wield very
All
gently.
right. I'm going
I
to need
get- I
to
just have the power
kick
to make
everybody
people
out
Cry. Oh,
Okay.
okay.
because it still has me logged in.
Oh,
The game will
I just
be
have the
shutting
power to make
down.
people cry, except Joe.
I don't think Joe has the power to make Joe cry. I think.
No, I don't.
I mean,
don't
it's
think it
part of
exists.
the cauterization process, right?
Yeah,
Conversation.
when you cut out your own emotions,
Right,
To
yeah.
be evil, you
Thanks, Marty.
you take away some things. Obviously.
You guys are making a lot of assumptions about human.
I sure
Which
am.
he is. Wait.
Nah,
More organs means more human, right?
nah, he's a demon. We know that. He's a demon from hell.
All right, so ASO spending a week leveling up. What about Kara?
Kara's spending another week leveling up, so she's level 3.
Cool. Core?
Same.
S-
Oh,
Spent.
Good.
Sorry. I heard my name, but
yeah. I said I
I
would.
said
I
Core.
heard it too, but then my mind went in a completely different direction because I'm multitasking. Sorry.
No, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Yeah, I will be spending the week leveling up to level 3.
All right, Maddie?
Finishing my level up.
Bo?
Same.
All right. And those of you who have completed 2 weeks are now leveled up to 3. You can do that at your leisure. But since we still have time, actually, 1, 2, 3,
So we're
4,
all level
5,
3
6,
now, right?
7.
Nope.
I think somebody didn't do leveling up that first week.
It was me and Core.
Yeah, it
we
was me and
spent.
Core.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had to
Your core.
retrain.
You're cool.
All right,
I'm on second.
third week.
Yes, sorry.
Third week, Asa and Core level up.
Yep.
All right. Then how about Kara? What's Kara gonna do for her third week?
Kara's gonna retrain.
All right, Kara retrains. Maddie?
Maddie is going to spend a week researching the portal at the library.
Ooh.
The portal, the one that they found in the cave.
Yeah, the one that we
Time
walked through. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. Remember that
Sure.
you can use a hero point to give yourself advantage.
Which I will do.
All right, Maddie goes digging around, really spending time to dig into these books, you know. Although there's not a lot of people who do magic craft here in Mivon, their library is still pretty dang good. Obviously the ones that are like most closely guarded are the things that are about weaponry and whatnot, but they do have like a fairly decent collection of stuff outside of that. And Maddie spends this week researching, digging up different tomes, checking references against different things, finding the right books, and so on. Before Maddie figures out that what they saw was basically a temporal rift, and that these things have been showing up throughout this ever since the Age of Prophecy came to an end. There are those who believe that with the death of Aridin, or at least the supposed death of Aridin, let's just say the disappearance of Aridin, that ever since then, these rifts have been appearing. They are rare, but they have been studied and examined. They give off a great deal of transmutation magic, which alters the normal flow of time. And the books also mention that the forces of Axis are fairly aggressive in attempting to shut them down wherever they spawn.
And murdering those who use them. That's just implied by the text. That's not exactly what it says. It's implied.
It is implied in the text, yes. But yeah, Maddie would know that they are considered to be a rare thing to come across, but not a completely unheard of. And let's see what else. Did you have any specific questions that I can answer?
No, not as of yet. Maddie was just trying to pull some general info because that was a really weird event. She is going to share what she found out with Asa, though.
Okay. So Asa, while you're in the middle of practicing your leveling up stuff, Maddie comes along and tells you about the temporal rifts bit.
Oh, I'm so glad you looked into it. That was actually on my list. There's robot people. They were called Axis or something, weren't they?
The forces of Axis.
Yes. And you looked that up and you found all that on it.
Yep. Surprisingly enough, those guarded sections have some decent books on magic stuff.
That's
not no math or anything behind it. You'd have a hard time building spells, but see, you get it.
So what are we going to do with that information? It's very interesting, but I don't know if it means anything.
No idea as of yet. I was hoping it would kind of link up with the star, but it didn't.
Well,
so
one thing it does link up with is, Eredin dying, which also is deeply connected to House Kilvis for some reason. They were meticulously researching how to kill dragons indiscriminately, and they just stopped completely about 100 years ago.
Weird.
Right? Does it mean anything, or is it just weird?
I feel like we're missing a lot of information there.
Yes, and part of me really, really wants to go to House Kilvis and just to be like, hey, do you have any secret books that we could read? But, I don't feel it's going to go over very well.
Probably not. They're big into their secrets.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. Alright. Well, I'll let you get back to training. Just wanted to give you a heads up. That way we're not spending time doing the same thing twice.
No, thank you. That was very, very nice of you, because it was something that I had on my list. Alright. Check that off.
Alright, so that's Maddie's week. What about Bo's week?
Bo will also go to the library. He's going to look into the research of the artifacts and Noburuga and Coral, and if there's any information on the ring, on where this power may come from, the history of it, anything he can find.
All right. Go ahead and give me an Arcana or a Library check. Actually, this could be Society. This could be Society since it's more history.
I will
less magical.
Use a hero point. Keep higher.
in secret.
Oh, right.
Reroll that with advantage.
Second verse, same as the first. You rolled well, so now you do worse.
Yeah, well.
You know, a perfect add-on, but not one I
Damn it!
appreciate.
I swear I did it.
Joe's a demon.
There it is.
Joe's a demon.
What's a perfect add-on? Rebecca,
What is it, Rebecca?
Huh? What?
you said
No,
a perfect
when-
add-on.
Yeah, when Joe said second verse same as the first, but you'll roll worse or whatever he said,
yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that's how it always is.
Gotcha.
I'll use a hero
That's how
point.
it goes.
Fuck.
All right, Bo.
Yeah.
You go researching through the library, attempting to figure out more about this ring.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing solid and built on fact, but from... sorry, let me put this another way. There's no solid factual information as to the origin or the actual nature of the Sovereign Stone, or the other two artifacts that Coral utilized in the conquering of Rostland.
Mm.
However,
Mm.
what facts they have been able to bring together as you're reading through all these books and whatnot is that the Sovereign Stone was a source of magical power that granted Coral control over dragon blood. It was a powerful artifact and one that he utilized to help manipulate the dragons effectively, the ones that he utilized for taking over Rostland. You know that, and you also find that there are examples of Coral utilizing that power offensively against people, just using the raw magic inside of something to obliterate people. Although Coral was definitely more of the barbaric side, think of it as a barbarian that has a laser cannon, right? Like, although they're good at being big and smashy, they also have a thing that can just blow up something, so they do that periodically. Coral, being a very brutal conqueror, had access to some incredibly powerful magic items, and those three items were a part of it. The Sovereign Stone, the ring, his scepter, and the gemstone crown that he used as his sign of sovereignty.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. All right. That's my week.
All right. Is there anything else in specific you wanted? You can feel
Research.
free to ask questions, because this is like a week of research. So
Sure.
I'm just giving you broad strokes.
I mean, it was mostly that it just like trying to figure out more information about these specific artifacts that Coral had, but like the information I wanted is like, why did he have these, or how could he make them? But like, why would his enemies know that? So
Yeah, they don't know why he had them or how he got them,
right.
but they do know how he used them to subjugate their homeland.
So the ring sort of acted like an orb of dragon kind, like in a
Kind
way?
of, yeah, in a way. Except it wasn't necessarily like control over the minds of dragons, but the control over the blood of a dragon.
Does that mean
Bloodbending.
all of the main Kilvis bloodline are like
Dragon
were
blood?
dragons?
That's what it seems like. Said.
That's interesting. Huh. And also red dragons. Are they the dragons that Coral used? There's,
Yes, Coral
Well, no,
marched with
yeah,
red dragons.
but I mean specifically House Kilvis. Like, there's a lot of weird things going on here. About
Sorry, clarify for me, and I'll try to straighten things out.
no. I doubt I'm finding out this information, but I'm more out of character wondering because, like, it
At
makes
worst
sense.
case, I just tell you you won't find it.
Right? Yeah. The idea that Coral controlled the blood of dragons with this ring, and somehow this ring stops a curse that Kilvis family has, And we know that the curse is they turn into a colossal red dragon and go berserk. So,
So to put a slightly different swing on that,
yeah.
House Kilvis's ancestor defeated or almost like shed Coral's blood in a duel.
Right.
Was the one of them that managed to actually shed his blood. In retaliation, Coral, being the dishonorable type, not the type to, oh, you got me, I won the duel, but you shed my blood. He took it as an insult that his blood was shed and cursed them, it would seem.
Does it say that in the book? That Coral cursed them?
It does not. I'm adding
Sure.
some stuff that you can like patch into to yourself,
Sure.
like patch things together. That in some way he used the ring to do something to House Kilvis, to like apply this curse that would turn them into dragons or something. That's just from the results of what you've seen if the ring wasn't brought back.
Mm-hmm.
And in some way that ring is a key to how he did it, or the key to unraveling it, or maybe it's just a power conduit that they use to unravel it. It's really, you don't really know the mechanism that House Kilvis uses,
Sure.
just that it's a key piece in restraining that thing that was done to them.
Okay. No, I think that's about it. I'd say that's what Bo does for his research of the week.
I'm going to give you one more thing because you're looking into dragons, potentially. Yes. Bo, while reading up on this subject, would learn that... Hang on, let me think of how I want to phrase this.
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what? It wouldn't be relevant to what he was looking into. Never mind.
Okay.
I'm reaching a little bit there. I'm going to wait until one of you asks a question closer to it.
Right. So the rest of the week I look up specifically about dragons.
All right. That's the end of the third week.
One other thing about the third week. Maddie will pull Bo to the side.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, Bo, check this out. She spends 10 minutes making a big magical circle on the ground with some chalk, doing a whole bunch of things. Yep. And then she summons a phantom steed.
Oh. It's a large magical equine creature that only you or another medium creature you choose could ride, which is clearly phantasmal in nature. It's a 20 AC, damn, and 10 hit points. Automatically fails all saves. But speed is 40. Can hold its rider's body weight plus 20 bulk. Holy shit! Okay, this is amazing. How can you continually do this?
Oh, I can only have one of these out at the moment, but this thing will stick around for a day's ride.
Perfect. Well, at this point though, we may want to wait until after the tournament before we can go.
I figured as much, but I wanted to show you that I did have a cool idea, and I managed to pull it off.
This is pretty fucking cool. This is really cool. And, like, you could just do this forever now. Like, you could always have a horse.
Yeah, it's a spell that I researched and figured out and put together, and it's in my book.
Hell, this is very cool. Very cool. And it can carry both of us, yes?
You could probably sit on the back, but you wouldn't be able to do anything but probably hold on.
Fair. I mean, I'm not looking to fight on the back of it, so, you know.
Yeah, I don't know that this is a real good combat steed either.
No,
I don't think he's really designed for it. But but for traveling, it'll get us to the place.
What's his name?
Haven't figured that out yet.
That's fair. Like us, the name will come to him when the time is right.
Yeah.
We still need to think of a group name, by the way. It'll come.
We haven't really accomplished much yet. We returned a ring. That's not much of an accomplishment.
Right. Technically, because, you know, stop the curse and all that, but, I mean, It's still just returning a ring. It's not. It's true. It's not a big one. You're right. You're right.
We'd managed to stop the star from falling. That'd have been something cool to build a name around.
Oh, that's fair. All right. Well, after the tournament, me and you, we're going on a holy adventure.
Yep. High five.
High five. I tried to bring the horse into the high five.
The horse doesn't seem to understand.
You'll get us one day. Steed is 60 feet. You can walk on water. Holy shit. I mean, that's the height.
Yeah,
of
no,
spells.
eventually. Yeah, eventually this thing just lets you
Fly.
move. It's pretty fucking cool.
You get a Pegasus, and when you heighten 6 it. Damn. Awesome.
All right. For this next week, Bo, you were occupied as the tournament is going on.
Mhm. Yep.
What's Asa doing for this 4th week? This is 3rd week.
All
No,
right,
it would have to be 3rd, right?
homie.
I think we already
Sure.
did
One
third.
retraining and then 2 levels. So
Yes.
this
So
would be
this is
1,
the
2,
4th week.
This is the
1,
4th
2,
week.
3, 4,
Mhm.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
This would be
Oh.
the very start of the tournament week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to heavily research into basically trying to figure out what the fuck that thing was at the site. Like the contraption that they were using, that the little Orby guy was using. What it was doing, maybe what they were going to utilize it for, how it was using the ring, and like, I guess if I can maybe sort of extrapolate the purpose of bringing the meteor down on us, like that seems like
You're
bad
gonna need
news.
you're gonna need to get more specific than that because that's a lot of different subjects to try to dig into.
No, I would like to know all of them.
Yes, and you can week by week.
Okay, so, where do I start? I want to know, or I want to figure out, what that device was, like what it was. I mean, I can guess that it was controlling the descent of the thing, but I don't know, is that even relevant anymore? Like, that doesn't matter, because could we have turned it off? We don't know. Yeah, so I what I want to determine is the nature of what they were using to cause the thing to come down. Like, like, is it a spell that I know, or that I could know? Or, were they, like, preventing it from moving anywhere else? Like, what? Yeah. I want to know lots of things, and I don't know how to specify it in a way that isn't.
Yeah, I don't want to
still
give you a
very-
wasted week by answering something too blandly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I want to get to the heart of your question.
Yeah. The heart of my question is I just want to understand what they were trying to accomplish. I mean, they were trying to bring that thing down.
Mm-hmm. You're very sure of that. They were trying to bring it down.
Thank you.
Could be they just wanted the star medal.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that they just wanted the star medal, which, I mean,
Sky medal, sorry.
yeah. So then I guess I don't really need to know how it works or what it was. Come back to me. Go somewhere else.
Kara!
Is it really that simple?
He's gonna retrain.
What's Kara doing?
Car's gonna retrain.
Okay, Kara retrains. Core.
What does Core want to do? I'm gonna teach people how to swim. No, I'm just kidding. Would I technically finish that sketch, like that drawing already to send to Dorothy
Yeah.
by this point? Okay.
You all have not heard back from Dorothy yet either.
Okay.
Is that unexpected?
Dead as hell.
I don't know. Do you expect it?
I
Listen,
mean,
no, Sess, what I
Later.
mean is that time-wise,
yeah, male-wise is this
male-wise, is that irregular.
I'm now just realizing that we did actually work out how you're getting the letter to them. How did you send the letter?
Isn't there some
Through
kind
the
of
mail.
post?
By owl, of course.
Some carrier
the-
pigeon? I
The
don't know.
fastest
mail.
bird.
Did you hire like carrier pigeons? Did you hire a ship to deliver your letter to Sovereign Hill? Like,
Maddie
what
found
were
a-
you all doing?
Maddie would have found a merchant group who was going up to Sovereign Hill, and asked them to deliver the letter.
I've,
Okay.
Okay,
I've
that makes
legit
sense.
always had like an idea of a character in mind of just playing a fantasy mailman. It'd be amazing.
It would be cool.
Just
love
like
that
and
idea.
the
Yeah.
whole premise is like your long-term quest is that you have to deliver one package and things keep getting in the way.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, it's like
rain, snow, or hail, we deliver your
It's just like a teddy bear for like some little girl, but that dude will get his job done no matter what stands in his way.
like it ends up the package like it just looks like it's like ripped and torn, and it's like it's still in this box, and you have no idea what's in it, and then like you open it, and it's like drugs.
I just want to say this is remarkably close to Castaway.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Castaway, Con Air, and the Postman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Marathon. All right, here we go.
All right, so Maddie got his letter taken by merchant ship.
Okay.
I definitely hired some carrier pigeons.
Sweet. My
Okay,
picture
you sent
is-
carrier pigeons.
I grabbed a pigeon out of the and like off the street and I tied it to the pigeon's foot and then I tossed it towards
Yeah, you
Sovereign
did,
Hill.
baby. That's-
Like- Like Sovereign Hill way.
No, Bo, you have to make a nature check.
No,
on,
you
buddy.
can just pick up a pigeon. Pigeons are pigeons.
Yeah, but you need to do nature check to be like, yo, go to some.
And these are like New York pigeons. You just I'm not doing. No, it's not. I'm not telling it to. I'm not telling it to go to Sovereign Hill. I pick up the pigeon, I tie the letter to its foot, and then I toss it towards Sovereign Hill, like that direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Bo's
okay.
letter doesn't make it.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Let's just put that one out
Wait. Roll to see if it's a really smart pigeon, and it's like, oh yes, sir, on my way.
there. You know what,
If
Cody?
we
Yes.
encounter a top
It's a
rated
droid who's
in
transformed.
Make me a secret D100.
Can I use my hero point?
for a D100, what?
Yeah,
not-
I'll let you use a hero point to add 10.
Okay.
So D100 plus 10.
All right.
Okay.
Is it blind hero? Blind hero.
Blind.
All right. There
Okay.
you go. Bo, after throwing the pigeon, just puts his hands on his hips and nods.
That'll do it.
Ah, there we are.
I know that's a secret droid.
That's obviously how the peasants sent mail.
Alright, so we got carrier pigeon, we have random pigeon, and we have merchant ship.
I don't think you rolled lucky and got Protanther as a pigeon, but it'd be pretty funny.
He'd
if
be a
that
fat
were
canary.
The fattest canary.
Just pick up Protanther. What are you doing? I'm tying this to his foot.
No, he wouldn't even ask you, what are you doing? He'd just smite you where you were, and you'd be dead.
What I like about this is that dragons, if I remember correctly, are supposed to retain their mass while in their other form. So you just go to pick up the fat canary, and it's just fucking like 80,000 pounds or some shit.
Very heavy.
Not again.
All day, you're just like, Am I not strong anymore?
What's
I'm
happening?
just
They were
going straight
right. I don't have mats. No.
And like Protanther's just like, you pathetic whelp.
Okay. How does Core want to send her picture?
Core probably would have sent it with the letter with Asa. Not that she like wouldn't trust it with the merchant caravan or anything like that, but it would be with Asa's letter, so with the carrier pigeon, I believe.
How big is your picture?
I mean, it would have to be folded up, but
I sent my letter like the first day, so when Cora's
Yeah.
like, put this with your letter, I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then I'd hire another carrier pigeon.
oh, okay. So it's okay. More carrier pigeons now.
All right. And did Kara have a letter to send? I believe she did. No. Okay.
But other than that,
Okay. So
I
to
want-
finally get back and answer the question real quick,
okay.
yes. If your message had gotten there by normal carrier pigeon times, you would have heard back by the 4th week.
Okay.
Oh boy!
Assuming she responded in a timely manner.
Yeah, assuming she did.
Big assumption.
She's
She-
a bit scatterbrained.
She
Have we
would have
heard any
responded to mine.
scuttlebutt about? Have we heard any scuttlebutt about where that thing landed? Has there been any postings on the notice board like, "Hey, looking for a group of people who like to hit things with
good question.
pickaxes"?
All right, go ahead and roll me a society for gathering information about the
I
recent
haven't
scuttlebutt.
even done anything yet.
All right.
I gotta do stuff
We'll
for
come
my
back.
4th
I'm
week.
sorry.
We'll come back, don't worry.
No, it's important. It's fine.
All right, yeah, taking a little bit of time to like look over like the newsstand and whatnot. You see a few things jump out to you. First, you hear that over in one of the slum part of town, like one of the slummy parts of town, one of the market squares had to be burned down. A bit of investigation in the like article says that like the reporter, the person who wrote the story said that it seemed like there was an outbreak of something in the area, and apparently there was criminal activity going on in that block. The guards that were on scene decided to burn down the thing to get rid of whatever was there. The eyewitnesses that give their statement and whatnot for the little newspaper report say that they saw creatures that were as black as night, and many of them had sharp claws and bat-like wings.
Oh shit.
The second thing is that you hear that the leading houses are recruiting manpower, or person power, or however you want to phrase it. They are hiring people to get for labor work because they are getting ready to move on the most recent fallen star. She sees that the fallen star has apparently dropped just to the northwest of Lake Hooktongue.
Christopher, stop it. Be more specific.
I mean, if those things say, "Oh yeah, it's just northwest of Lake Hooktongue," someone would also say, "Oh yeah, it also landed on a town, the only town that was around there."
Right?
Like,
It completely
they're not
obliterated
leaving that out.
town.
If
It'd be completely obliterated.
if it landed on Sovereign Hill and nobody mentions it, there's a lot of questions to be had. Like, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's specifically this location," but they leave out completely.
Let me put into context for Asa real quick with her society check. The River Kingdoms is made up of a lot of small towns that rise and fall very quickly. This is just a static thing about the place. Sovereign Hill is a very young town.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is a
really.
town. There's like a dozen buildings on that hill, right? Plus the big mansion that Jenqua lives in. And he pays the mercenaries who guards it. It's not a big metropolis.
No.
Like, this would be the equivalent of a small village popping up that then gets destroyed.
I
may
still
not
think that's
know
in the
much about
news.
Sovereign Hill.
Right, I still think that's in the news, though. It's not like meteor falls and then, like, they just leave out that it killed a shit ton of people in the town.
I don't know. I'm pretty
What
sure
I'm saying
there
is
are
that-
plenty of people in Mavon who literally don't know if Sovereign Hill exists
Okay.
or not.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that don't know that
Mhm.
Sovereign Hill exists, just like they wouldn't know the 30 dozen other towns that exist out in bumfuck nowhere
Right.
Yeah,
in the
you
middle
know, like,
of the
can
River
you,
Kingdoms.
like, even now,
Okay,
like, can you
so-
name every little town in America? Probably not.
So, seeing that it's northwest of Hooktongue, I'm like, and I will send a carrier pigeon to who is responsible there? Oh, no one. I will send
Where?
it to our gourd friend, our drug dealer,
Our drug dealer?
Happy Gord.
Happy,
Happy
Gourd.
Gourd!
I'm gonna send him a letter that says I don't know, something. Yep.
Why
All
don't
right,
you
you
send
send
it
a
to
letter
the,
that says
Why don't you send it to the guy who runs Sovereign Hill?
I don't expect him to reply to me. He's gonna be like,
Okay.
"Who are you again? I've never heard of you
He
before."
was all about money. It's very true.
Yeah. If I sent some gold with the pigeon, but then the pigeon would be way down. Look, it's the whole thing. I will send it to Happy Gourd and tell him, that I don't know. You know what? I'll tell him about our country flyleaf and if he ever thought about expanding his empire.
Okay. I can hook you up with the supplier. All right. So that's
Well,
what Asa does in reaction to that news. Now back to the 4th week. Core.
Yay! Mail is complicated, y'all. I will, I too, I kind of like in character expansion, I want to, like Bo was doing, I want to find out more about dragons, but more about, you know, like, what do they do, their intelligence, their, like, you know, like, how do they live, what, you know, that kind of a thing. Like,
All right, go
how
ahead
do
and
they
roll me a-
view, like how they view, like, other races and stuff, so.
All right, and you're going to the library for that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll me in nature.
Okay. Oh, that was secret. I didn't mean to do that, but
Can you see the result?
no.
Then you're good.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if it was meant to be blind or not, so.
Yeah, pretty much anytime you're gathering knowledge, it's going to be a secret check.
Um,
So that way, like, seeing the result of the roll doesn't bias how you treat the knowledge.
can I meant to use a hero point on it to have advantage.
Sure, roll a second one,
Okay.
and I'll take the higher of the two.
Do I just re-roll using hero point then? Or just...
No, just roll another one, because
Okay.
I'll use the higher of the two.
Okay.
So, like, normally when you do a hero point, you replace your original roll, even if it's lower. But
Yeah.
since it's a secret check, I'm just giving you advantage.
Okay.
So you get, like, an advantage to counteract yeah. Okay. Core, for your 4th week, you go looking through the library, trying to gather all the information you can about dragons. You learn that dragons on this in this area, or sorry, not in this immediate area, but dragons on Golarion were usually broken down into traditional broods, you know, metallic versus chromatic and all that stuff. I don't have the full details, at least not memorized yet, but there's basically the classic story of, you know, the dragon the leaders of the dragons had a whole bunch of spawn, a kind of fight broke out between the lead dragon and the his first son dragon. Tiamat was the mother and tried to intervene and stop the two from fighting to a degree, and effectively 2 broods of dragons spawned out of that. I can get you more detailed information in a bit, but
Yeah, sure.
like I said, I haven't read too deeply into that stuff. That said, what jumps out to Core while looking all this stuff up is that she finds that all that information about dragons, the chromatic metallics and all that stuff, stops 100 years ago.
It just
like,
stops.
it just
Okay.
stops. Like, the way that it's written, all the books that talk about it, they stopped talking about it 100 years ago. When she starts seeing more recent books, it starts describing dragons in very different terms. No longer in chromatic versus metallic, but rather in just types of dragons, their particular shapes, their particular specialities, and whatnot. And you don't find a book that explains why this shift happens, but you see that a shift did occur. Where at one point, up until about 100 years ago, dragons were that classic chromatic metallic divide that probably Core would have some intrinsic knowledge of, to some degree. But then it changed.
Cody.
That's weird.
But yeah, I would assume there's not, like... I mean, out of 100 years of that information stopped, there's not too much more information about how, like, the new way of things are, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so she gets a lot of conflicting information about how dragons are presently, because they've only had about 100 years or so to study this new type of dragon. And dragons aren't particularly forthcoming about letting themselves be studied. But they have noticed that there are dragons that are more closely attuned to the great beyond. So there are now, like, diabolic dragons rather than red dragons. There are temporal dragons. There are transmutative dragons. There are abjuration dragons and stuff. There's all these different types that are infused with different types of planar magics, creating a much more rich and diverse species that is making it difficult for scholars to get a clear understanding of what dragons are and what they're capable of in this new iteration of them.
Interesting.
Something metamorphosized them into something far less structured, roughly 100 years ago.
Very, very interesting. Now I have dragon lore! Ha 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 ha! Anyway. I need to add that to my lore skill. Actually do.
If you take the additional lore feat, you can get it, it auto scales with you as you level up. It's great.
I get it because of the
nice.
ancestral feat that I retrained. It's literally called dragon lore.
Nice.
So I get that. It's great.
Do you have any other specific questions that you want answered in the meantime about that research?
Genuine intelligence level of dragons. Like, already it kind of seems like it's like they're very capable of doing what everybody else does around here.
Most dragons are very intelligent.
Okay.
Yes. Most of them are very intelligent. The least intelligent dragon is still going to be as smart as a regular person for the most part.
So, in retrospect, Core is like, maybe I could talk to one and find out more about, like, as long as they're not, like, violent or whatever.
Yes, so long as the creature's, like, just like dealing with people, some people are, well, I guess Core wouldn't fully know this, but, to her optimistic view of the world, or however you want to describe it, she would think that she could definitely talk to each of these dragons. But as, she understands that people vary, so too would dragons, and some of them aren't going to give a shit about Core wanting to be friends, right? Some of them are just going to have a bad attitude.
Yeah. So, be careful about which one you talk to.
Yes,
if
and
you
it
could
gets...
find them.
However, it's worth noting that it is, because of that drastic shift, it can be hard to distinguish which one is which. Like, previously, you could usually go, oh yeah, that's our red dragon. It's part of such and such's brood, so they're an evil dragon. They're probably going to be malicious. While that's still kind of there for, like, fiendish aligned ones, like the diabolic dragons, what about an evocation dragon? An evocation dragon could be good, it could be bad. It could be neutral, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
so dragons are in the state of, if you're gonna fuck with them, be really careful because you're probably gonna get killed. or at least there's a fair chance you get killed.
Yeah.
But again, this is from the perspective of scholars who are writing about them, not necessarily
Yeah.
adventurers.
Not adventurers who have run into many, or
Yeah.
even anybody that's like dragonborn or not, even.
Yeah.
So,
That's just the general advice, is that dragons, you can't tell easily if they're going to be good or bad, so be careful. Because they can kill you easy.
got it.
Okay, with that, I think we're at the end of week 4. Everyone's been moved up.
No, not me. Okay.
No?
So,
I don't think Maddie did anything either yet.
Not yet.
yeah.
Oh,
Go,
oops.
Maddie.
Get both of you.
Maddie is gonna spend this week reading through that astrology book that she got, and then going to the library and going through the restricted sections, and finding out if she can figure out anything more about the Wandering Star.
All right, go ahead and roll me an Arcana.
Yep, let me go ahead and roll that with advantage.
All right, give me 1 second. I need to actually Google something.
Oh boy!
Lalo
I found
just-
something.
Lalo's
I
just
found the
going
code.
to my chat, and he's like, Northwood died. I gotta rewatch this soon. I just noticed he put him dead on the screen.
Okay. You start looking into more information about the Wanderer, and I believe I've previously described that the Wanderer is seen as like a guardian star, a sort of patron for adventures that brings good luck. Well, as Maddie digs in more and more to this star, Maddie discovers that this star actually, how am I going to put this? Yeah, you rolled well. Maddie finds that it is believed that this star hasn't always been in the sky.
Oh.
Maddie reads that it is theorized by some that this star, what's it called, appeared in the sky, or rather, started to appear in the sky roughly 9,000 years ago. They have, although information is very limited from that time, because, you know, it was 9,000 years ago, it was still a very dangerous age, and record keeping was pretty dang low. What information they have about the night sky and of the, you know, the celestial caravan at that time, there is no mention of the Wanderer. And it only starts appearing after roughly 9,000 years ago, in, you know, in texts and on, like, you know, scriptures and in ritual talks and whatnot. You know, like, there's no evidence of it prior to 9,000 years ago, like there is other parts of the Celestial Caravan. So it's theorized that it appeared 9,000 years ago.
Interesting. Alright, that's cool.
That said... Sorry, give me one moment. Do you have any other specific questions? You basically, Maddie gets the same kind of stuff about it being like a guardian star, something that helps out for adventurers, shines good luck, and so on. But the big different thing, the thing that stood out from one of the more like archaic and expensive books that they actually have on hand, is the 9,000-year-old thing. Is there anything else that you'd want to ask in particular?
What about the stranger, the eye? That's been around for more than 9,000 years, right?
The stranger in the Celestial Caravan?
Yeah.
Yes, the rest of them have been around longer than the 9,000 years.
Okay. Interesting. All right. I don't have any questions right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure where to go with this yet. I just know it's something Maddie's gonna continue to look into.
It'll be something that will have great relevance later. You just don't
I-
know you don't have the context for why that matters just yet.
Yeah,
But
I know. Maddie's looking though.
yep. Okay. And Asa.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that about everything, where I'm like, this means something. I don't have any context to tell me what it means, but I know something is there. So, I think that the time for figuring out what the fuck that device was and how it controlled the thing, I think that time has passed. So instead, using the knowledge that the star is probably a big hunk of sky metal, I would like to research what that can be used for that's not just making weapons. So specifically, is there a magical device that requires sky metal? Is sky metal just like naturally really powerful at conducting magical energies?
So you're
Is
researching sky metals, basically. You want to know about sky metal.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, go ahead and make me a crafting check.
All right, I am.
Or
going-
library.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so much. I am going to use a hero point.
Okay. Alright, Asa would know that, unlike what I said before, I have to correct myself, there are 7 types of sky metals. There is Abyssium, also called Fever Stone. It is a blue-green type of stone that exerts a great deal of energy, but it sickens people when they are exposed to it for an extended period of time. It is said to have mystical properties. It is capable, or at least thought to be capable, of opening portals into the Dark Tapestry. There is Adamantine, also known as Numerian Steel, which is the most common of the sky metals. It is tough, it is incredibly durable, and it is capable of making some of the most resilient weapons that exist out there, as well as incredibly dense and resistant armor. There is Quick Iron, or Jezzet, which is a rusty red metal that is only found in a liquid state. It does not ever become a solid or a gas. It is always in liquid form. It can be used to enhance the power of magic, and it can be used to enhance magical items. Sort of like how a person would drink a potion to enhance their body. Quick Iron can be used to enhance magical items to increase their properties. There is Inubrix, which is a kind of metal that is out of phase with reality. It can pass through iron and steel while still hitting flesh naturally. It simply moves through iron and steel as if it doesn't exist to it. It is, however, as soft as lead, so it is very easy to break. You just have to break with something that isn't steel or iron. There is Noqual, which is a rare form of sky metal that is resistant to magic. It is a pale green crystalline type material, but it can be forged in the same way of iron. It is just as durable and powerful as iron, but half the weight. It also needs to be treated with alchemical properties to be used for an extended period of time. There's Orichalcum, sometimes called Horichalcum, which is the rarest of the sky metals, a coppery material that is said to be able to bend time. There is only a few cases that Asa is able to dig up about crafts made with Orichalcum, but the one that jumps out is that she learns that somebody who built a suit of armor out of it said that they experienced time slower while wearing it. And lastly, there is Sikatite. It is a silvery metal. It is either very hot or very cold. It can be in either state. And it is unknown what's it called? It's unknown whether or not these are two separate metals, or if they're the same, or if they're opposite. Sikatite, there's not really much known about it, and not much has been done with it because of how dangerous it is to handle. The heat of it is so exceptional, it's very difficult to handle, to move, to use for anything, because it burns pretty much any other implement it touches. And the opposite for the freezing version. It basically almost goes to absolute zero. There are your sky metals. Those are, and what's it called? As far as what can be built with them, quite a lot, I'm sure you can imagine.
Okay, cool. All right. I do feel like one of those stood out, but you know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, no, that's really good to know. Okay.
Did you have any other specific questions with regards to the sky metals?
Yeah. Abyssium. If can I specifically delve into that a little bit, or is that like that would mean another role?
Sure. Let's see.
I just want to know if like there are instances of it being used, like stuff being made out of it, and if so,
Yes.
like when, where, and was it mostly used to like make portals or?
Yes, so Abyssium, although it can be used for portals and whatnot, it has actually most recently been found deep beneath Absalom, down on the Isle of Kortos.
Oh.
Abyssium is known to be associated with conjuration magic, and some folks think that it is linked to the Abyss itself. Now, although it has this sickening quality to it if you're around it for an extended period of time, it has, in numerous times, she finds a lot more cases of this in the Orichalcum, it has been used in place of steel for weapons and armor. When you have an Abyssium weapon or Abyssium armor, they glow like a candle, and you just have to deal with the sickness of wearing them. It is said that in ancient Thassalon, they created manacles out of Abyssium to keep their prisoners docile and sick from being manacled up with it.
Great, thanks.
Abyssium can also be broken down into a powder and used as a poison.
Ooh.
Oh, and Abyssium has also been used in the construction of golems. Because you know what's better than an indestructible golem? An indestructible golem that makes people sick around it. I will say that she sees a lot of references to ancient Thassalon when looking up Abyssium in particular.
Fucking Thassalon. Okay. Gosh, were Thassalons the ones that were destroyed in Earthfall?
I believe so.
Okay. All right. Ooh, trying to get that Golarion wiki to replace the Forbidden Realms wiki up there in my head. All right. Okay. I think
That's why I just had a line of 100 years ago where it's like, okay, shit changed. Cool.
Thank God.
There's my
Thank
freedom.
God. These assholes rewrote everything.
Yeah.
Okay, then I think that brings us to the end of the 4th week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, we do have Bo's, what's it called? Arena. What's it called? The contest. It does go on for 2 weeks, but we are at 11, so we're going to handle that next week.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Okay? Cool. All right, GG, everybody.
GG.
GG, everybody.
Good
Whew.
session.
Yeah.
Not
Nice.
Night,
See,
everyone.
now we have all next week too to also RP. I didn't even.
Damn
I only
right.
got to talk to Core. This is great. I have conversations. I wrote
We've
out
got-
notes.
Yeah, we. Yep.
Great.
Oh man, I need. Also, I'm. Oh, thank God. I think I have ideas now. Woo!
Yay.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think on Wednesday, or maybe even tomorrow, we can chat about that and stuff and hammer something.
Tomorrow is generally better because I don't have a game on tomorrow, so
right.
that's usually a more open day.
Yeah, I'll just try to cause you're kind of
Yeah.
free, after 3 Eastern.
Yeah, after 3-ish.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll get on.
All right, guys. Good session.
All
All right, you guys have a good night.
Good session. Good night,
See
everybody.
you later.
Hi, everyone.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right, everybody. That's episode 18 of the Aiudara in the bag. Just so you know, for the people that are here and didn't catch the whole thing, want to catch up, there was a problem halfway through the stream. My computer just froze up for some reason. Had to restart it. So on Twitch, the VOD will be 2 separate parts. It'll be pretty easy for you guys. You just watch the first part, you watch the second part. For YouTube people, hopefully you're watching this. I'm going to try to splice together the 2 parts and make it one video. I don't know if the recording's even there, so I may have to figure something out. But worst case scenario, it'll be 2 different videos, and I'll just label them as such. But also, a little heads up for later on in the week. Like we've said plenty of times, we'll be starting Skyward Sword. I gotta be real with y'all, it almost didn't happen. Not because I wanted to skip it, but because I was having problems with it on my Switch, where it was fucking up the whole screen and things just weren't going really well. But after a little bit of research, apparently it can work really well on a GameCube. So I'll look into that a bit more, and I think we should be ready to play that either tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming up. Bye. Be sure to come by next time, but until then, everybody, I'll see you later. Bye now.